Do you want to know what type of SBCs could come out during the Premier League TOTS? What player SBCs? What casino SBCs? What objective content we could see during the Premier League Team of the Season? You will learn potentially all that in this video today. I'm Slater. I review the content every single day in FIFA with daily content reviews, and before big promos like the Premier League TOTS, one of the biggest promos, we do what to expect for the Premier League Team of the Season and other promos. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button for second opinion information on all things FIFA related. You can find that right here on the channel. And if you want to find out what casino SBCs were released, what type of player SBCs were released, what objective content released, you can see that all in chapters below. So if you just want to fast forward to one part, you can do that, or you can ride the entire wave of this promo video with me right now. With that being said, let's dive into what you can expect during the Premier League Team of the Season, so you can either save up fodder that you need for these SBCs, maybe pass on SBCs that get released in anticipation of potentially other SBCs down the line, and get a timeline of when you might expect certain things to drop for the Premier League Team of the Season. So with that being said, I want to jump us into our first thing we want to look at, and that is, of course, the casino-y fodder type of stuff in the game. That's always, I think, the most important part, and so we're going to put that at the front of the video. What are the things that you should be prepping your fodder for if you want to take, risks in FIFA? So first and foremost, we have upgrades. You'll notice that in the far corner over there on both sides, up and down. We had 75-plus player picks that came out during the Premier League Team of the Season, 1 of 3. We had Premier League 83-plus by 5 upgrades, which came out during the Premier League Team of the Season. So specifically, literally Premier League players. So it's a really interesting opportunity to try and get yourself some Team of the Season cards. We also had, which is going to be kind of behind me a little bit, Premier League player picks specifically. And then from the upgrades standpoint continued, 82 to 88 upgrades and 80-plus Premier League player picks. So we had 2 sets of player picks. We had a 75-plus player pick, which was 5 players. And only 2 rares, so really, really easy to craft, but a very low base in terms of what you can pack. And they actually ended up being pretty good. If people that did these last year kind of found that they weren't that much worse than some of the other player picks that we had over the course of the Team of the Season. And then we had the 80-plus specific Premier League player picks, which were a lot more expensive. It was 5 rares and 11 players, but it had a higher rating cap, and it was Premier League specific. So you have a couple different opportunities potentially in terms of player picks that will come up. So if you want to stockpile your club with maybe some rares and commons, expecting player picks to drop on Monday, which would be the Monday after the Team of the Season drops. So that would be probably what? The 5th, 6th, 7th, the 8th of May might be a really good opportunity for you to pre-plan there. We had 82 to 88 upgrades, which no one ever does nor cares about. And you'll also notice over here, we had Premier League premium upgrades. So think about your Team of the Year grind. If you put 11 rare players into that, you got 12 players, 3 rares, 9 commons back from the Premier League. So once again, another alternative option that you could have for the Team of the Season. So if you want to stockpile on some cards, potentially if you find a really good spot, maybe tomorrow during lightning rounds for the Premier League Team of the Season drop, depending on when you're watching this, Friday they always drop crazy lightning rounds. Maybe a good time to scoop up, if you have a lot of coins, you have the resources to do this, get a bunch of rares at discard price, right? And just potentially stockpile and prep yourself for a Monday if you are inclined to do that. These are not a guarantee of what could drop, but it is what came out last year, and EA do a lot of things typically very similar on a year-to-year basis with just slight tweaks and changes. We also had a 92-plus Prime Icon Moment SBC. Now, this year we don't have Prime Icon Moments, but we do have is a lot of different icon variability. For birthdays, Team of the Years, right? So there's probably going to be something related to an Icon SBC dropped during the Premier League Team of the Season, because in the last couple promos we've had, when we've aligned these things together, the icons and the promos, they have come through that way, and there's a very real chance that we're going to have, once again, another icon SBC. So that was an 86, an 87, an 88, and an 88. That's a really big price tag, right? We just had the 90-plus one that was cheaper than that, but it had a lot of variability. You could get literally World Cup icons. You could get foot birthday icons. There's just so many different icons. Prime icons, right, could be a possibility for you too. So keep your eye out. Potentially, maybe a good time if you want to prep for an icon. This fodder's so cheap, maybe it makes sense to preload there too. So this is not stuff you need to do. It's just opportunities you do have. And at the very end of the promo, I think it was either the Friday, I'm sorry, it was either the Thursday or the Wednesday, this Premier League 84-plus player pick dropped. It was an 83 overall team with the Team of the Week for a 1 of 3 84-plus Premier League player choice. So even after we got the community tots and the Premier League tots. So I'm going to run you through two here in a second. We got another swing at a Premier League tots player. So if you want to try and wait even after all the hype will die down when the Premier League Guaranteed TOTS SBC is released, there is one more swing that comes at the end of the road. So I think that was the Thursday, right before they went out of packs. You could take one more chance at one of those cards. But before you did that, there was also, if you look like right below me, that is the EFL sign. So we had an EFL TOTS. They dropped them on a Tuesday and a Wednesday last year. So EFL TOTS came out, same price as the Eredivisie, 84 overall team. So we'll probably see that again this year. And then the Premier League TOTS was an 86 overall with a team of the season for that price tag as well. So there are some things for you to potentially go, okay, how do I want to prepare myself for casino-based stuff, like for upgrades? That is all the information you're going to need. Most likely, I'm going to assume that we're going to have something very similar, right, to this stuff. Your EA do not do a lot of differences when it comes to a lot of the content year in, year over. So this will probably, hopefully help you out in that regard. So there's your upgrades. There's your casino SBCs. There's all that type of stuff. Now what we want to move to is, what were our player SBCs, right? What type of caliber of players could we potentially be looking at that came out last year during the team of the season that we could see again this year? Now, granted, the players probably won't be the same. I hope not. That would be really lame. But we did have a crazy flashback Dele Alli. For those of you that were not in FIFA last year, that were playing the game at this time, that flashback Dele Alli was a demon. He was a phenomenal card. He was like an 88, an 87, and an 85, so he was expensive, but he was a card that was a mainstay in a lot of teams all the way until we got to that like 85 by 10 type of like Path to Glory-esque level of the game. So he was a big-time card. He had crazy body type, really, really great box-to-box midfielder, ended up being a phenomenal card in this game. Now, granted, Dele Alli, as a footballer, has changed a lot, tragically. Isn't even like on the team that he went to in Turkey. So hopefully he gets back to somewhere near the player he used to be. But there you go. We had Dele Alli. We also had a Philly Foden, a Harry Kane, and a Moments Kulu. Now, we had a championship SBC at 1.2, but I didn't include that in here because it's not as big of a deal. But Philly Foden was another card, really expensive, right? I think he was like an 88, 87, 84, something like that. Like, he's a really expensive card, but he was a mainstay in a lot of clubs. He had a lot of specials throughout the course of the year and then got this team of the season card. He also had an issue with this card, and they had to adjust his stats for the better after he had already been released, which classic EA stuff. But another big top tier player, Harry Kane, got a massive boost. If you look at those stats, they ultra boosted these cards, right? They really went all out for the Premier League team of the season. So I would expect the scale that we just saw for community tots and Eredivisie tots, and when you're watching this, you might already know the scale should dramatically jump, right? The Premier League tots should be, so at least the high end should be incredible cards. Harry Kane was another card that was expensive, but ended up being a super valuable striker. If you can use big body strikers, he became a really great card. And especially this year with new gen, if we get a big body striker, think of like, we won't get an Erling Haaland, by the way, of course not. But if there's someone else that would make sense for them to put in this, get a really juiced card, could be another opportunity for you. And then we had a Kulusevski, who was also very, very usable. I used that card last year too. He was fun. So we got a lot of really good player SBCs for the most part. You know, our community tots player SBCs were very, except for like a Raho, very like kind of solid, right? They're like these 50, 60, 70K SBCs, or maybe get up to like 100K value besides Araujo. These were all massive besides Kulusevski, right? These were all multiple 100,000 coin SBCs. So once again, fodder could be at a premium. Well, not a premium because people are going to open a lot of packs, but fodder was in the floor, right? Really, no one needed high-rated cards this entire week. There's a chance, and I'm not a trader, I'm not telling you to do this up, but there's a chance that you might, if you want to do these SBCs, might need some really, really big fodder cards because they're going to probably drop some really big player SBC. So there's the type of players that we could expect in this as well. If you're in the video, by the way, hit that like button. Sorry if you're new. I appreciate the support as always. And then what we want to look at last, but certainly not least, is what type of objective content could we get. So I'm not a gameplay grinder personally. You'll even notice, like, you'll see tokens and some stuff. We did have TOTS swaps last year with actual tokens and daily SBCs. That had already been released. So I'm going to assume that we will not get that, but we might. We might get that. That would be a wonderful thing because we already have like a TOTS swap thing going on with season rewards. So my thought is it's just going to be all objective-based content. You just unlock those objectives, right? It's like a lowered version. You don't have to like actually do certain SBCs to get tokens and cash them in. We just get them organically through season rewards this year. But this was a thing, so maybe it could come back in some capacity. We did have a Premier League Cup. They have dramatically improved the like rewards that come out now for objective grind stuff. So my thought process is that they'll be a lot better than last year's. They weren't bad, but we might get like a really big player, and we'd be very grateful if like what they did with the Eredivisie TOTS, they drop a Premier League TOTS pack in this reward as well. We also had a Silver Star moment. You can't really see him, but he was a championship player. So we just got that Eredivisie player. So it looks like most likely we'll get a championship level player for the Silver Stars if you guys are still grinding that. We also got a Bukayo Saka, and you'll even see like kind of right next to Bukayo Saka's name, I just couldn't put both pictures in, was a David De Gea. So on the day of the release of Premier League TOTS, we got two Premier League players. We got a actual TOTS and a TOTS moments. So hopefully tomorrow you guys will get two opportunities to grind new players the same way that we got Joelinton and Henko for the Community TOTS and the Eredivisie TOTS as well. And then last but not least, we had a player from the Championship that came out as well. So and that I'm not going to dive into. I mean, I don't even know if anybody that wasn't a QPR fan completed that Willett card. But the reality is, like, there's all the stuff that were big hitters that happened over the course of the Premier League TOTS. So, with that being said, if you come this far in the video, man, I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully this video helps you in some way prep. Maybe you're like, hey, an SBC comes out, but you're like, I think that this other SBC might be coming out, and you can kind of wait and see what type of, SBC aligns with you. Maybe you prep your club to do a big SBC. Hopefully these videos help you. These what to expect videos. I'll do it again. If you guys like these, we'll do it again for the Bundesliga. We'll do it again for the Serie A, the La Liga, the Ligue 1, to prep you guys every single week leading up to the upcoming TOTS. And like I said earlier, I review the content every day, man. Every single day in FIFA, dude. If you want a daily opinion on what the heck you should be doing and what you should not be doing, 10 years of Ultimate Team experience, I absolutely am obsessed with this game, sadly, for my own self. But to help you guys out, I can get you guys through the year, letting you know what is good and bad value. So if you guys want to follow the channel, it's greatly appreciated. Thanks for watching so much. Good luck to you guys in your Team of the Season pack journey. I hope you all pack a boatload of TOTS. And with that being said, I'll be live with a stream on Friday with around 150 packs. Hopefully we'll pack some too. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Catch you for another video tomorrow. Peace.